Hey y'all, Lincoln here. These past few banjo setup videos I've done have gotten a little bit of traction, so I thought I would do another one tonight, but I'm kind of changing gears a little bit. I'm not talking banjo setup specifically, but I'm reviewing a process which I actually get a lot of questions about. It seems like on banjo workshops and anytime I do a question and answer thing, and it's about picks. And I've always used, pretty much since the beginning, these plastic, a lot of people call them clown bar thumb picks or confetti. There's 100 different names for them, multicolored thumb picks, but they're all essentially accomplish the same thing. These here, this one that I've been playing with, I've played with it for maybe 3 or 4 months, I guess now. And I like these thumb picks because they get a good tone and they're cheap. If you lose one, you can get another one for $2. So the only thing is, when people see mine up close, they ask me where I get them, and I get them the same place everyone else does. It's just I shape mine and do a little work on it before I start using it. I noticed that I really liked the sound of one of these thumb picks after they'd been played, 3 or 4 months, broken in. So talking with Sonny Osborne and looking at a few of his thumb picks that he had left over that he had played through the years, I realized that the shaping, once it had worn a while, is where I really liked it. It was the same as his. And he actually taught me this process of speeding up the break-in process. And that's what we're going to cover today in this video. And basically, there's a few steps. One of them, I've got 2 new thumb picks here that I thought I would take you through the process of. But one of the biggest things that we're undertaking is filing that sharp point off of the thumb pick. And all of the picks I've seen that Earl used and Sonny and all the old players, they seem to all end up this way from wearing down, but that also seems to be where they sound the best, because this thicker striking surface on the pick here in this hand seems to give a fuller sound on the 5th string and 4th string. It fattens the 4th string up and it makes the 5th string not so harsh. And so that's one of the things we'll be covering. Another thing, and I don't know if you can see this or not, let me pull it over here. If you'll notice on this pick, this part of the band that goes around your thumb is actually bent in more this way and curves around the thumb, so that when you wear it, it comes right in, tucks right in with the thumb, whereas this one, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, you can see the difference. See how it kind of sticks out here? Right there. Right as it comes up to the edge of the blade. And I've found that it can kind of get you in trouble playing sometimes. I've got that hung on, like if I'm going for the 4th string, get it hung in the 5th string. So another process, part of this process, is bending that little lip in to where it won't catch. And then the last part of the process is basically a technique that Earl Scruggs showed Sonny in the dressing room of the Opry one night when Sonny was having some trouble with his thumb pick slipping off and those bright stage lights getting hot, hands getting sweaty, and his thumb pick was sliding around, and he was kind of complaining to Earl about it, and he gave him a thumb pick, which I actually have here that I'll have to actually bring on camera, and he showed him how to put these grooves in a thumb pick with a pocket knife, which would create friction and traction on your thumb and it doesn't spin around. So those are the 3 main steps we're going to cover in today's video. So let's begin. So the first step is warming up a cup of water hot enough to where if we dip the thumb pick in it, it'll make the plastic malleable to where we can bend in the edge of that band. I usually put mine on for 30 seconds at a time to zap it until I get it hot enough to where it's steaming a little. Okay, we got the water heated up here in our Waffle House coffee mug, and I put it in there for 1 minute and 30 seconds, which got it hot enough to where I've got some time to work with these picks. Now, I shouldn't have to say this, but don't use your fingers when you dip the picks here in the water, because you're gonna get a big ouchie. What I do is use these pliers, and I try to hold it in there for, say, maybe 10-15 seconds at a time till you kind of get a feel for it to see how hot your water actually is. Because this plastic, if you get it too hot, will actually start to you can see it just start letting go of its shape, and it'll just roll out flat. And I did that while I was talking to you. I don't know if you can see where I turned that in there compared to this one here. I'll do another one while we got the water getting hot. And this is another good thing about this is if you get these plastic picks and they don't fit exactly right, you can shape these to your thumb using this process, getting it hot. If it's too big, pull it in, crimp it in. If it's way too small, you can pull it out the other way. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this. So I grab it right here and then just pull it in while that plastic's still warm. And you hold it there maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that. And then when you let go, it's cooled off. As you can see, it's bent in and won't catch that string. Now on to the next part, which is shaping. There's a few ways you can do this. I don't have a bunch of sandpaper here that I want to get everything dirty with. So the first thing I do is clip off maybe maybe 1/8 of an inch off the end of it. And that gives you enough meat left on it to where once you file this down, because you got to smooth it back out once you get it cut flat on the end here. So now I've got a couple little Whitrock stones, like for sharpening knives, and of various grades, and I start just smoothing that edge out and getting the burr off the end of it. And you don't want to sand it just directly flat on the end, because it's going to look weird, feel weird, and it's going to sound awful. You want to kind of round these edges on the here off once you get it smooth. And you kind of sand, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but you kind of sand at an angle and get it beveled that way that it'll wear even. And it glides off the string a lot easier too. So naturally, you know to start with your highest grit, either sandpaper or whatever you're going to use to get this down. So starting to round off a little bit with this. Yeah. I'll pull this in close. Maybe that will focus on it. And you can kind of see that beveled edge I'm starting to get there. Once you work your way through these different grades of sanding, I've found the last step to get it really, really smooth is also another trick I learned from Sonny. And you can use normal old cardboard to get it really, really smooth on the end. Now I'm kind of jumping through the hoops here pretty quick. You'll want to spend some time on each one of these steps to really get your pick shaped in the way you want it. But once you use that cardboard, you can get a really, really fine, it's almost like a really, really fine grit sandpaper, like 10,000 or something. And you can really get one dialed in. Sonny always told me that he kept a piece of this cardboard in his case, and he would, anytime his picks, even his metal finger picks, would get scratchy, he would get that cardboard out and you could shine them up on them, and he would also buff them a little bit. Not enough to where it was abrasive to where he was eating the pick away at all, but it gets those little fine burrs and scratches off your picks. And this one's already coming in pretty nicely. So then once you wear it, you get it on, we've got that edge of the band tucked in so it's not out there grabbing at strings or has a chance of catching on a string. We got the end of the blade pretty flat. I cut this one a little drastic just to prove a point as compared to this one, but this one will have a great sound. And then the last step is cutting the grooves inside the pick. You want to do this with the cardboard, protecting your fingers. So what Earl showed Sonny, and I'll show you, maybe you can see it on the inside of this pick. It'd be hard, actually it'd be kind of hard to see. But he got his pocket knife out and dug scratches left to right in this thumb pick to where it would create friction. And that's what we're going to do right here. I hope you can see this. Maybe I should pull it back a little bit. And you just get a few in there up top and just try to do a stair step thing all the way to the bottom. And don't press real incredibly hard because you'll eat through it pretty quick, but enough to where you can see the line starting to appear. And the first time I did this, I went kind of overboard with it and went all the way around the inside of the blade here, but or the band. But I find really if you just get it on the biggest flat part here where your thumb catches, oh, that's great. Where your thumb catches, it does the job. And I'll bring the camera around here and try to get the light to reflect on it just right. But we're basically done now. Okay, so here we have the thumb pick in its mostly final state. You can see the scratches I just added in with the knife. And you can see how that blade is beveled there now to where it's not going to be scratchy. I'll try to get that light to reflect just right on it. I'll more than likely work on it a little bit more. It's a trial and error thing. You just keep playing it and testing it back and forth until you get it right. Then you can also see how I bent that band in. So in comparison to what we started with, quite a bit of difference. Going back and forth looking at these. And it'll make a world of difference when you get used to it and playing it, because it's going to make grabbing at those strings a lot easier. They slide off the strings a lot easier. And I find when you shorten them like this, you don't hit I have a problem with my thumb pick hitting the head a lot and causing some noise, especially in the studio. So that cuts down on that a lot. And it just feels like a good broken in thumb pick. So I hope this helped. If there's any questions at all, just post them in the comments in the video, and if I have to do a follow-up video, I will, but I think y'all probably get the gist of it pretty quick.